and supernatural worlds that surround us. Here we delve into those topics that challenge us to think outside the limitations of realism, where we test the boundaries of imagination and are forced to think outside the confines and restrictions of what is normal. We are the creators, the writers, the artists, and the insane. Welcome to our weird realities.
Happy Thursday, guys.
Yes, happy Thursday.
I don't even know where to start with this bunch of film reviews that we have today.
Tell everybody out there what you called this show. This evil
birth
kids.
Control.
Yeah.
It's Hadley's birth control show.
This is my if you want to have a child, you're feeling the call to breed, you might want to watch these 4 movies right here. It will make you.
Hi, Morgana. When you said we were going to watch Evil Children, I downloaded a whole bunch of videos of my nephew and niece.
That's what you said.
Little Stevie's listening right now. I'm sure he's making me gestures.
My evil child just hooked me up, so he's a good kid.
Hey, Mona. Hey, Morgana.
Hey,
Hey, Landa.
Oh, the ladies are here.
I think that anybody who's feeling like it's time to have a baby should watch these. And I thought it with the first movie with the Omen was the first one that I watched this week. And when he was having his meltdown, I was like, there are days that I kind of think, well, it would have been nice if I'd had a child. And I saw that and I thought, you couldn't have handled that.
You have several furry children.
I do, and they're perfect for me.
So this show is your visual contraceptive show.
Yes, that's it. The visual contraceptive show.
It's funny. We can call them fur babies and nobody gets upset. But when I call somebody's kid a skin creature, now I'm the bad guy.
They start yelling at you. Sons of bitches.
That's it. Well, tonight, what are...
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony. Always Tony.
Cheers. He probably has a cigar and
well, we've got a full house.
We do. Awesome. So tonight's shows are Brightburn, The Omen, the original Children of the Corn, and the original Omen. So we've got a new one and Orphan. I am sorry. Did I say Orphan?
I think you did, but
it's still pretty creepy, Mona.
Yeah, it is creepy.
Yeah, it holds up. So why don't we delve right into it? And who wants to go first?
Ladies first.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Brightburn was my movie. And I'm going to have to say it did not disappoint. There was a couple of times.
So nice. You said it twice.
Hi, Sylvester.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sylvester. It was.
Hi, Jen. Me too, Jen.
I was calling it the anti-Superman. I mean, that's kind of the premise. Is it's built along the idea of this child has come from outer space and he's got these superpowers. And about 10 years old, maybe 12, he starts having
Cecil.
Hey, Cecil.
Hey, Cecil.
Hey, Cecil.
He starts having some serious issues, and there's no controlling him. And it's kind of scary. I mean, which again, when we're having the meltdowns and stuff, but it was pretty good. It was pretty. Well, I'm not even saying it was pretty dark. This was a really dark movie. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There were times, and I'll say I'm not usually one for jump scares, and it jump scared me probably 5 or 6 times, and so it got me. I'm gonna give this a high rating because of that. Y'all know I think that you should get extra for these things, but I think there might have been a little bit of problem with some pacing issues, but overall, I felt like it was a solid movie. It scared me. Again, the anti-birth control. Well, this is a birth control show. There's not one child in here who you want to take home and keep.
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
Did this movie?
I don't know, the little girl from the Orphan, the small one. She was cute and adorable.
You mean the not evil small one?
Yes, the not evil one, the one who couldn't talk.
We can keep her.
Yeah.
That little
she
shit
had
brother
some
of
issues
hers.
too. She had some issues too.
She did.
All right.
Well, she wasn't telling. I mean,
Well, she was manipulated. Tell and die. But we'll get to mine later.
We'll
let's
get to
do
that,
yours
yeah.
now.
Brightburn. Now, it came out before the Boys series, but not before the comics, right? Or the graphic novels.
I don't know.
I think it did. I think it came out before the series. I'm not too sure. I haven't looked it up. I haven't researched it or anything.
I definitely saw it before I saw The Boys.
Yeah, me too.
No.
Me too. And it was a nice look at that kind of stuff. You know, the dark side of we're powerless against these people that are supposed to be heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a definite the Cobra Kai of the Superman movies, you know. Which, for those of you who don't know, I'm a huge Cobra Kai fan. But growing up, when I saw Karate Kid, I thought that guy was a jerk, and now it's like, oh man, I kind of see his point. It was really Ralph Macchio who was the jerk.
They made Danny the bad guy. Yeah, I like that. We could all identify with Johnny, though. So, I mean, really, at one point in your life, you know, who doesn't want the banquet of beers once in their life when they're watching TV and film?
Yeah, but see, I love the end of the Karate Kid for that reason. When he got his butt kicked and he knew he had been, even after he cheated to get there, he ended them out.
He manned right up.
Okay.
Well, we're off topic.
So anyway, the Boys comics came out like 15 years ago or so. I remember his buddy had some of those at the house. I was like, that's pretty crazy.
So was the Boys related to Brightburn?
No. Brightburn was written by James Gunn, right? Directed by James Gunn.
Yep.
Oh.
Guardian, the guy that did Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep. Yeah.
Those two are so similar.
Well, this has something in Brightburn had a surprise ending that made me think of Guardians of the Galaxy with Michael Rooker.
Right.
Yeah, James Gunn's
did he direct this movie, or
I think he directed it. He might have wrote it, but him and Rooker, I don't know how many movies he's made with Rooker.
Yeah, they're buddies.
Yeah. So, and he wrote the Dawn of the Dead, the remake. I believe he wrote that.
Did he?
Yeah.
James Gunn?
Yeah, I believe he wrote it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he wrote that, and Zack
Snyder
directed it.
Huh.
So definitely, Gunn's got a dark side to him.
Yeah, he does.
But this is a good movie. It's not one you want to watch again and again and again.
Well, no, it's too depressing. There's no hope.
It's sad. It's not just the no hope. It's the fact that, it's been out for a few years, so I'll give some spoilers. But it's the fact that he just doesn't give a shit. Initially, he cares. Right. He sort of cares, and then he's like, "Hey, I'm like this super being. I don't care about these creatures that are around me." Yeah,
that was the word he used. I'm superior.
And then you think he's got this love for his mom and dad, and he does. I think he really did at the beginning, but then he just realizes that not only do I not need them, but they're trying to impede me and they're in my way. So they gotta go. And
well, I really thought that the uncle had a chance because he gave him the gun. And he really liked the gun, and nope, the uncle got it bad.
Well, you notice most of the actors in this are comedic actors.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
And that's
I didn't notice that. No.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. The lead, she's in everything.
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
I love Elizabeth Banks.
And then the guy that played her husband, he was in The Office. He was Roy the warehouse guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
And at the uncle, who played the uncle?
I can't think of his name, but I recognize he's got a high voice for a guy.
What was he in? Was it Ozark? It's not Ozark. He was in. He played that cousin brother. I don't know who he was. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. I gotta look it up.
I mean, one of the things I got about the movie, and I don't know if it was just me picking it up or if he meant it, was how the mother kept on I don't want to say covering, but it was like, oh no, my son couldn't do that.
That's how moms are, though.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's like, okay, gee, you know, his uncle, you know, winds up getting destroyed in his pickup truck, and it's like it wasn't until she was on the chopping block that she started to realize, oh, maybe
Matt
he's bad.
Jones.
Breaking Bad.
He's from Breaking Bad. He was Badger.
Yeah.
I had to look him up. I couldn't remember.
He was in El Camino in Breaking Bad. That's right.
Yeah, he was one of what's his name's buddies throughout the series. Yeah. But anyway, so the comedic actors seem to sometimes make the best in horror movies. You know, you see that, and they really do well.
Robin Williams played a great evil bastard. He was fantastic.
In which movie?
24-Hour Photo? Was that?
Oh, I haven't seen that one, but I know which one you're yeah.
And what was the one up in Alaska?
The one with Al Pacino, right?
Yeah, it was Al Pacino. Yeah,
it was like Sleepless or something.
Yeah,
like that,
I think that's what it was. Yeah,
yeah.
Great. He plays a psycho in both movies, and he nailed it. He crushed it.
I think it's a lot easier to be a comedic actor and then do a serious role.
Yeah.
Because if you can nail comedy like Chris Pratt does with all of his movies, it's a lot easier if you're good to do it. If you're a straight actor, it's very difficult to transition over to comedy.
Thank you, Jennifer. Insomnia.
Don't you
One
think?
hour photo.
There you go.
Don't you think that comedians are different than actors in that most of them have that satirical wit. They're very deep, and they're thinkers.
Yeah.
And not that actors aren't. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying it's a deeper level to be able to look at horrible, critical issues that are happening in the world and make it funny.
Yeah. Well,
and that's not a talent many people have, but you have to be in touch with your inner darkness to be able to do that.
And every one of them is intelligent too.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Mona said, look at Christopher Walken, you know, he's a big bad guy. When he does comedy, he's hysterical. Yeah. He is. Yeah, and he walks that fine line too, like in Seven Psychopaths. He's funny, but dark. In Pulp Fiction, his character has some humor, but he's really dark.
True Romance.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of his roles actually tread that.
I mean, actors I can think of that started out as comical or that really do great serious. John Travolta.
Yeah.
He went from Vinnie Barbarino to Face Off.
He was the bad guy in everything for years. Yeah.
Have you seen him in The Fan? I think it's called The Fan.
No, I haven't.
Wesley
seen him
Snipes.
No, or maybe it's The Fanatic. He's the biggest name in that movie.
No, I don't know that.
And he wears this like bowl type of haircut, and he plays like this autistic fan of this action hero.
I'm
not so
huge,
bad. It's good.
I am not a huge Tom Cruise fan. I think he's overrated, but he was fantastic in Rain Man, and he was just one of the best movies ever made. Was A Few Good Men.
He was good as that bad guy with Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, with the cab driver.
Yeah.
No, Minority Report was a different movie. What the hell was that movie? But that was a good. But with the cab, with Jamie Foxx was the cab driver.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I don't remember what it was called.
Well,
oh gosh,
but he was good.
This is a little bit sideways over with Jamie Foxx, but Jamie Foxx when he was Horrible Bosses. You remember the role he played in Horrible Bosses?
No, I remember the movie, but I don't remember him.
He was the one that helped them.
That they went to get up they were going to pay him to be a hitman, but they didn't have enough money, so he just gave him advice.
Yeah,
it was Mother Effin' Jones.
Yes, I remember him. Okay. Oh my God, he's funny.
It reminded me of the character that Eddie Murphy played in that one.
John Moe.
Val Hernandez.
Thanks, Val.
Hey guys.
Val
Hernandez, Jamie's husband, is here.
Oh.
We got 16 people, guys.
Damn.
Oh my God.
We're so close to 100,000.
Thanks, Jim. Collateral.
I remember when it was just one person. Tony,
that was
one of our moms. I think it was one of our moms too.
That was Tony.
It was Tony.
Oh, it was Tony.
There's Chloe. Hey, Chloe.
Chloe, my daughter's
Chloe.
here. Damn.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Well, Jonathan Moe is actually her boyfriend, so
Oh,
woo-hoo. I'm bringing him in.
Well, now you know what they're doing.
send me your T-shirt
Well,
size.
he's in Georgia, so yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Collateral. Thank you, Jennifer. That was a good movie. And I'm not a
Yes,
big
it was
Cruise fan
Collateral.
either.
Okay, we need to rein it in and go back
Yeah,
to
we have
evil-
so
these
many
evil
rabbit holes.
effing kids.
Yeah, we're 15 minutes in, and we're down like 6 rabbit holes already.
Okay, so we're back to Brightburn. Anybody else got
Brightburn.
anything?
I'm not going to give it spoiler because I had not seen it until today. So I know there's plenty of other people out there. Trust me, watch it. This was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Like I said, there was a couple of jump scares that really got me. In turn, my dogs were like, "What's going on, lady?" And it was great. I'm going to give it probably a 4.25.
I'd give it a 4.0. But I wouldn't want. It wouldn't. It's not one I would rush out to watch again.
No, but I would like to see a sequel.
Yeah, that would be good.
I haven't. I didn't get to watch it this week, but I had seen it before. I know it's like the second time I didn't get to watch a movie, but I had seen it before. I desperately wanted to see it when it came out, and I thought it was good. I thought it was pretty good. I'm going to give it. I'll probably give it a 4. But there was that one scene where he's sort of dissecting the other mom. That was just creepy as hell. That was crazy. And she's down in the barn.
Creepy little
Excuse
kid.
me. Yeah, he was a creepy kid.
He was a creepy kid.
I don't know.
He had that dead-eyed look too. That kid that played him, man, he killed it.
It was an entertaining movie. I give it a 3.5. It didn't
Jamie.
hook me in like the other 3 movies did, and I won't watch it again. But it's worth watching once.
Hey Scott, you want to come over?
It
We're gonna watch
has
Brightburn.
a message, people. The message is: do not take small children that you find in the woods home to keep.
Yeah. Hi, Jamie.
Hey Jamie.
Call the police and let them know that you found a weird child in a crater from outer space.
In a spaceship. Yeah, that was probably the first thing to do.
With the glowing red eyes.
No, I'm
just
taking the
saying.
kid. I'm absolutely bringing the kid home, and Bigfoot and the aliens, definitely. All of us, we're going to hang out for sure. I'm sorry.
I liked his costume. That was just. It was creepy.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good addition to that character. So that goes without. We don't know what you have in your basement, Mona.
I will say that I think one of the creepiest things about the movie was the Notebook.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was very disturbing.
Yeah. It was done well.
Anyway, so that's it. That was my movie for the week.
Awesome.
Sorry, I'm not more prepared.
No, it was a decent movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
all right.
good.
Who's next?
Scott.
All right. We're starting with my movie was the classic 1976, The Omen. I'm sure all of us have seen it. I'm so old, I actually saw it in the movie theater. It begins with Gregory Peck and Lee Remick. They play the Thornes. He's an ambassador to, I can't remember which country he is in the beginning, and he's called to I think Rome, and he's called to the hospital, and he's told that his wife, who was about to give birth, the baby passed away. But there was another child that was born that looks just like, hey there, buddy.
Hey, big man.
Hey, he showed up.
That looks just like the baby, and the mother died at birth. So Gregory Peck doesn't want to upset, his wife that, she had the miscarriage. So he takes the child and pretends it is his wife's child. As you can almost guess, it's the Omen, and things go downhill from there. He becomes ambassador to London. I'm not saying being ambassador to London is going downhill, but creepy people start coming around them. There's a dog that always shows up that's there to protect the kid. And he doesn't realize any of this until my favorite character in the movie, Jennings, played by David Warner, shows up. David Warner is a reporter. He's been taking photographs. There's one of the priests who was there that convinced at the Italian hospital, who convinced Gregory Peck's character to take the child, shows up and says, I did a bad thing. You've got to be careful. That child is bad. Get rid of it. And Gregory Peck doesn't believe him until David Warner shows up with all the photographs showing a progression of photos how the person is going to die. And eventually, Gregory Peck comes to believe that the child is the son of Satan. He's the Omen. He is brought in. He is he's given to a family in a position of power. And the whole thing is eventually he's going to be the ruler of the world. And by the time Gregory Peck finds this out and believes that this kid is Satan's child, pardon the pun, all hell is broken loose.
The Antichrist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, if you watch it today for the first time, it's a boring movie. It really isn't that. There's a couple of really good death scenes, but it's compared to today's movies, it's not great. But remember, 1976, this was one of the first good movies that dealt with Satan, the child of Satan, 666, Armageddon. There's a lot of Bible references to it. It was one of the first movies of its kind. And you really don't understand that there's something weird with the kid. It's not till near the end that you find out this is the son of Satan and he's got to be stopped. I loved the movie. I remember seeing it in the theater and it was like, oh, this is awesome. I loved the ending of it. The ending is so unexpected. The acting is great. The kid himself is great. He never says a word through the movie, I don't think. No, he does. No. He says a few words.
A couple of things.
Yeah. Couple of things.
When he's going into the church, he has a little meltdown.
Yeah, I mean, he starts like begging, "Oh, Daddy, please don't kill me." But it's the eyes. It's the facial expressions on that kid. I mean, that is just superb.
Wouldn't you love to see it? Where is he now?
I don't know if he ever did anything else.
I love him. I think the kid was great. I think this is one of the best movies. This comes down as one of my favorite movies. It's a great movie to watch. I think it stands up. It's one of those movies that today, your kids could watch it. There's nothing in it that they haven't seen already on Sci-Fi Channel.
Right.
It's a psychological supernatural thriller. It really is. It's got there's not a ton, there's a little bit of blood. There's not a ton of gore. It's certainly not up to today's gore standards, but you're right, Scott. It does hold up. And honestly, one of the creepiest parts of this movie are the damn dogs. I love Rottweilers, and I was seeing them, and I was like, "Damn, that's a scary friggin' dog! Look at that dog."
The hellhound.
I know. He just wants to kill everything.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that portion of it. That the dogs.
And the this is how this person is going to die, and then you see, oh my God, that's how that person is going to die. That was great because you don't figure it's hard to figure out until it actually happens.
Well, the head slicing scene. The head slice. Oh man, that scene is iconic.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, this was the movie that got me hooked on David Warner.
I love David Warner. He's the poor man's Alan Rickman, even though he's older than Alan. Even though he's older than Alan Rickman, and I don't mean that as an insult.
No, I know.
I mean, it's like he was. Time Bandits.
I love the movie with Malcolm McDowell where he plays Jack the Ripper.
Yes.
Oh my God, that is one of my favorite movies.
Hey, Larkin.
Oh, place is filling up. Anthony Archambault is here.
And Audrey. I love the scene in Time After Time when they're in the future and he's making that H.G. watch the TV and he says, "Herbert, this is my time. This is where I belong. Leave me here." Oh my God, he's great.
Yeah, he was a great actor. He played.
He is a great actor.
Is he still alive?
I think he is.
I think he passed recently. I'm not sure.
Oh, now
anybody out there knows, let us know. But David Warner.
Hang on. I got the Omen up. Let me check.
Okay, while you're doing that,
I'm going to say that the Omen.
He's still alive.
Okay, awesome.
Shout out.
We're glad
Leave
you're
me
still
alone.
alive, David. Make something else for us.
I'm gonna say that it's very layered, and that was one of the things that, like I said, I've seen the movie before. It's been a long time. Of course, I probably saw it 3 or 4 times growing up on late night. But knowing what you know, going back and watching it all these years later, and you see the satanic theme that you missed the first time. You know, like I was saying, of the lady when she threw herself out, the nanny
Yeah,
when she threw
out the
herself out the
window.
window, and she's like, "Oh, Damien, this is for you." Plunge. That was just like you just sat there and kind of thought, "That's really, really creepy."
Yeah.
And that's what holds up is the layers that they packed into that movie.
Yeah.
And that's not something you really you just don't see a lot of that forethought put into a lot of horror movies today.
Mhm.
I remember
And-
my folks went and saw it, and I was 13, and they went and saw it, and they came home, and they were just. Well, I was raised Catholic, and they were just. That was the scariest movie they'd ever seen at that time,
Yeah.
and they just couldn't quit talking about it. They really liked the movie, but it really scared them, and I don't think I saw that movie till maybe 10 years after that.
Well, that and the Exorcist were
Top dogs.
It
Yeah.
played on the fears of Christianity, of Satan, of an antichrist, of people that you don't even know existing, behind you, keeping this kid going, keeping this kid safe. It was, I mean, they're just great movies.
Well, it's the grandfather of a ton of knockoffs.
It is.
Well,
Now
and
just the whole thing.
that time period, there was we talk about the satanic panic of the 80s, but really it was during this time period when all these satanic movies were being made was the 70s.
Yeah.
Late 60s, early 70s, mid 70s.
I think that's what spurred a lot of, the hatred towards and the fear of, Satanism and all that stuff was then, the 70s and 80s, early 80s.
No, definitely. You had a ton of movies, Race with the Devil.
Yeah.
A bunch of movies like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Larkin,
Yeah.
you're
No,
right.
you're right. I mean, it's more realistic. Like, I think that's one of the reasons why the Conjuring movies are so good. It's not some monster from outer space. If you believe in the paranormal, that could happen to any of us.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, if you do watch The Omen, do not watch Omen 2 and Omen 3.
Don't read anything about CERN.
Don't. I watched The Omen 3 and I was so disgusted with the end of that movie. It was so anti-religious and it wasn't meant to be.
You have won nothing, Nazarene. That was terrible.
Oh, all the knockouts I think were pretty bad. I think the second one might have been better, but which one had? How about the one with Sam Neill?
Sam Neill was the third
Sam
one.
Neill was the third one.
Yeah.
And he was he was running for president. And at the end of the movie, the atheist stabs him in the back with one dagger. He dies. And then after Satan dies, Christ, the God, comes down and blesses the area. It's like, really? You're saying that God is not as powerful as the atheists?
Clearly,
I went to a seminary. I went with somebody who was the seminary school. Oh my God! I thought they were going to throw him out of the theater. He was so unready.
Oh, it does hold up with, like somebody said, its content, stuff like that.
Yes,
but it is boring. It's
very slow. You're right.
That's the problem with movies from that time period. Mm-hmm. We're used to now the high speed, fast storytelling, the Michael Bay explosions.
It was a slow burn. It was a build up back then.
It was.
And
now people crave action.
I mean, that's the multi-layered part that we just don't see now.
Exactly.
Right. I just remember I didn't enjoy it as much as I did the first time I saw it.
And we all know what the movie's about. But when you're sitting there in the theater for the first time, it's like, okay, so who is this kid? Oh my God, there's his baby and a jackal and buried in. Oh my God.
Oh,
well, and they didn't have the spoilers that we have before a movie now.
Yeah, there were no internet, no trailers like that. Exactly. Yeah. And that actually, the scene that you just said, Scott, with the jackal and the crushed skull, and then the dogs came in, that was pretty spooky, actually.
That is,
yeah. In the graveyard, yeah.
It was. I actually would rather watch this one than The Exorcist. To me, The Exorcist is just slow.
It is. It's a very slow movie, and Chloe's here. We actually just had this conversation the other day about The Exorcist. You know, I saw that when I was a kid. It scared the shit out of me. I was like, "Holy crap, this is terrifying!" And she's like, "It's so boring, just so boring."
Oh,
And that's part of it is because it doesn't have the high speed terrorists that the kids need now.
right.
You know, and
I
by
saw
kids,
it
I mean us.
Well, I saw it when I never saw it when it came out, but I saw it when it was re-released to theaters. You know, I went to the movies, saw it. I was all happy to see it, and it just bored the crap out of me. I was like, this is the one that had people running down the aisle screaming, getting sick, you know. But I've been jaded by that time.
People
you know,
are sick.
See, I was fortunate. I grew up behind a theater that they always got the movies after the first run, and they played two Saturday matinees, which are always like Godzilla films, and then they'd play like a movie like this at night. So I got to see Jaws. My mother was like, "Yeah, just go across the street." She didn't care.
This explains so much about you.
Thank you.
I had the same thing. We had triple features: Time Bandits, The Fog, and Phantasm. It started at 6 and went to midnight. Yeah.
You know, one thing I regret never going to is that when they have those Go Ape shows where they show all the Planet of the Apes movies at one time. I always wanted to go to those, and I just never did.
Never went to one either.
That'd be fun. And, when you're a teenager, it sounds really cool. I'll be at the movie theater for 12 hours.
Yeah. So what would we give this movie? I would give it a 4.8.
I'll give it a 4. Just because of it's iconic. And like I said, it's the grandfather of a lot of other movies, TV shows.
Same. I'll give it a 4 as well. But I will say that it did scare me the first time I saw it. And I didn't see it till I was like 18. And I was like, wow, that's pretty spooky. So I'll give it a 4.
Oh, yeah, it was. I was about your age when I saw it. Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Hadley always goes lowball.
Well, no, that's not true.
You remember.
This goes along with the whole anti-biblical themed movies. That's just not my thing.
See, I didn't see it as anti-biblical. I saw it as good versus evil.
Yeah, that's how I saw it.
Well, but I mean, it had a lot of biblical stuff in it. That's what I mean. I live where that's a big thing. Yeah. So that's just not my. I mean, I'm sure Morgana understands, but I try to avoid that sort of thing because
I understand.
Yeah. No. But it So
3.5. But it was a good movie. I mean,
3.5, 2 4s, and a 4.8.
Wow. We're cooking.
Yeah.
Hey, Rich, you want to go next?
Sure, I can go next. My movie was Orphan. Let me pull up my notes here, which I watched, I think, night before last with my daughter. It's a 2009 film, and it stars Isabel Fuhrman, Vera Farmiga, and Peter Sarsgaard. The film was it's an international co-production between 4 countries. It was produced by pretty much everybody, including Leonardo DiCaprio, which I didn't know. I saw that the other day. Farmiga and Skarsgård have 2 kids, and they want a third. And after a brutal miscarriage, the couple decide to adopt a child from an orphanage where they meet 9-year-old Esther. A little spooky, but kind of cute, and I love you and all that kind of stuff. And excuse me, Esther's from Russia, and while she speaks perfect English, she doesn't get along well with the other kids at the orphanage. She comes home with the new parents, meets her new siblings, and other than the new brother being a bit of a dick to her, everything's wonderful. Esther seems, wise beyond her years, especially about sex, which is a little weird, in a 9-year-old girl. And the young girl begins to rule the roost almost immediately with the kids, and Max, Esther's young deaf sister, she falls in love with Esther really fast. This is a horror movie, so things begin to degrade, pretty quickly. Daniel, he's the boy of the house, the young boy. He shoots a pigeon with his paintball gun. He injures it pretty badly. And Esther and Max show up, and Esther tells Daniel that he has to put the bird out of its misery. But he won't do it. So Esther just crushes the critter with a brick. Just splat. So now Esther begins to display odd behavior all over the place. And the kid at school who was mean to her, she takes a wicked digger off the slide at the playground when Esther shoves her. Like a broken ankle and stitches and stuff. Nothing terrible, but still, it's not something you want to see out of a kid. Little Max sees everything, but she won't tell on her new sister. So now Mom, who's Vera Farmiga, she thinks this is a little weird, so she calls a nun, CCH Pounder, who's honestly one of my favorite actresses.
She's in everything.
She really is. She's fantastic too. From the orphanage to figure out what's going on. And after the nun leaves, Esther kills her with a hammer while Max looks on. And they sort of tricked her. Esther pushed Max out into the road, and the nun pulls the car over, and Esther just kills her. And then she hides the evidence in Daniel's treehouse. Stuff starts to get worse, and Esther does things to malign and discredit Mom, up to including putting her own arm in a vice to break it after Mom grabbed her, and then blaming Mom for the broken arm. That was freaky. So Max finally confides in Daniel, and Daniel goes to the treehouse to retrieve the evidence, the hammer and the bloody clothes. But Esther traps him inside and sets the treehouse ablaze. The boy escapes, but he takes a wicked fall, and Esther's about to brain him with a big rock. She's coming in like that, just like the pigeon. But Max, the little girl, just bumps her out of the way. She intervenes. Mom sees the treehouse on fire, helps Daniel, and by now Mom knows that Esther is just straight up evil. Everybody's at the hospital for a badly hurt Daniel, and Esther breaks away to get a soda, and she grabs a pillow and just smothers him. Mom flips out and blames Esther. Of course, nobody believes Mom because they never do in the horror movies. So they sedate her, and Dad takes Esther and Max home, but Daniel's still alive. There's several creepy scenes in the movie, but to me the creepiest is when Dad and Esther are home after Mom is drugged in the hospital, and the kid takes a slinky dress from Mom's closet, cuts it to fit, and makes a heavy pass, like a sexual pass, at the now drunk Dad. Dad shrugs her off. He's like, "What are you doing?" That thank God for that, because that would have been I'm out right there. Yeah. But anyway, Esther flies into a rage and storms away. Mom made some calls to what she thinks is an orphanage in Estonia. It's actually an insane asylum. She gets a call back while she's kind of stoned, mostly sedated in the hospital, and learned that Esther is a psychopath with a hormonal disorder, and the little brat's actually 33 years old. It's freaking weird.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, this is an old movie, so it is what it is. But I was watching this movie with my daughter, Chloe, at the time, and she's like, I wonder if she's actually older. And I was like, no, that can't be. Kid nailed it. She nailed it. Yeah. So back at home, Esther actually kills Dad and starts to hunt Max in the house. And Mom drives home from the hospital, stoned and slight. And for some reason, it's always snowing in this movie. There's always snow. The rest of the film is a house chase with the whack job Esther chasing Max and Mom throughout the house. Honestly, one of the best parts of the film is the makeup that was used on 11-year-old Isabel Fuhrman, who plays Esther, who went from looking like a weird 9-year-old girl to a 30-year-old psycho chasing her kid and her mom. Yeah. It was like freaky weird. And eventually Mom and Esther have the final battle in the small pond, where Mom gives a wicked ninja kick and basically decapitates the little shit, who sinks to the bottom of the pond dead, except she's not dead because there's the next movie is a prequel. So and that comes out, and I think it's called Orphan First Kill, and it was made in 22, and it's releasing soon. Yeah. It grossed $13 million in its opening weekend, and it was I think it was fourth behind Harry Potter and a couple of other movies. And it grossed $80 million against a budget of 20, and it got mixed reviews. Honestly, I think Isabel Fuhrman, the girl that played Esther, was unbelievable in her role, and she nailed it. Especially she nailed the creepy when she was hitting on the adoptive dad. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good pick.
What did you think of it?
Good pick.
I had never seen it before.
It's a great. I hadn't seen it either. It's a great movie. I knew the surprise that she was 33 years old, so that didn't shock me. But I didn't know that she had come from a mental institution. And that was the surprise for me. I loved it for one reason, was every time you think there's going to be a jump scare, like when Vera opens the door, the refrigerator door, and she's getting stuff, exactly. And you're
Me too.
She closes it and no one's there.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was great. I think, like you said, the young girl the actress who played the young girl was great. She reminds me of so many kids who are so sweet in the in movies, not in real life. Sorry, Stevie. Sorry, Kira. That are so sweet in the outside and inside that it's like blackness.
Rotten to the core.
The only thing about the movie that I kind of didn't like was I knew how it was going to end because they telegraphed it so many times. Oh, you were drunk. Your daughter almost drowned in that lake. Oh, you were drunk. Your daughter almost drowned in that lake. And then they find at the end of the scene, they're down by the lake fighting. It's like, gee, I wonder how she's going to die. But it was a great movie. I loved it.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I loved it, and I'm dying to see the prequel.
If you look at the comments, Chloe's got something, and she says, the dentist. That's because when we were watching the film, I was actually watching it with Chloe, and she's like, well, why won't the kid go to the dentist? I wonder if she's not a kid. Maybe she's an older, like an adult. And I was like, no, absolutely not. And she nailed it. She crushed it.
Good job, Chloe.
Yeah, definitely. I had no clue. I mean, the twist, I was like, wow. It's like watching the Crying Game again. Wow.
Yeah.
I was surprised. But I guess I wasn't, I don't know. Good pick, Rich. This movie was violent. This movie was crazy. There was violence. There was a lot of kind of sexual parts in it.
Yeah, creepy sexual.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
But I mean, I wasn't expecting this movie, and I really creepily enjoyed it. It was a creepy flick.
Yeah, it was. What'd you think, Hadley?
Well, I'd seen it, so this was my second time to see it. It is still good, and I enjoyed it. Like I think I mentioned this earlier, was being able to watch it from the perspective of knowing that she was a certain age. The fact that she wore those clothes made sense because she couldn't wear the jeans because she would look her age. She would look a little bit older. It would, she was able to hide so much with the personification of how she presented herself.
And the ribbons,
Yes, and the neck.
Well, the hiding her scars and stuff with the ribbons. But that was the thing for me when I saw it the first time that I kept coming back to. Is there something with those dang ribbons?
Yeah. I mean, we all knew there had to be something. We just didn't know what it was. And Chloe and I we were talking about it, and we were thinking scars. We were like, how would she get scars? Did they tie her down? What could it be? Did she try to kill herself? Don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was thinking, was trying to figure it out. But I enjoyed it. It was a good one of those you just kind of found by accident movies for me, and I enjoyed it. So it was a good pick. Good. This is probably my favorite movie of the week.
Yes. One other thing I loved about it was the way that little girl just pushed Vera, the mother, and just took advantage of her neuroses and ostracized her from the rest of the family. Well, everybody thought she was the bad guy.
So on the flip side of that, I'm watching the film with Chloe, and Chloe's like, she's talking about the dad. She's like, he's just a dick. He won't believe her. He's just an ass. And I'm like, and I'm trying to make excuses for the guy. And I'm like, well, yeah, but there's, this insurmountable evidence against the mom. And then it gets down to that creepy little girl sitting there with the dress and the makeup, kind of touching his hair. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? What moron? How did he not know the whole time? And she's looking at Chloe's looking at her. She's like, yeah, that's what I said a half an hour ago. So,
this actor, he's just creepy to me. I just don't like him.
Peter Sarsgaard?
He just looks like he's like got a van somewhere. And
well, you ever seen him in the Green Lantern?
No.
See him, he plays the bad guy in the Green Lantern. He looks creepy.
Well, he doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies. He's not one of my favorite.
Yeah, no.
He just always kind of has a sleaziness to him.
Yeah. But he's perfect.
But no. But yeah, but no, looking back, and you could see, like when she's telling Esther about her miscarriage and Esther's crying. I mean, that hit me because I'm like, this is a woman telling this to another woman who really gets it. It's not a little girl. And, like I said, so I really enjoyed, I suggest watching it again, just a little while down the road when you feel like it, because I think that you'll appreciate it even more. then, because it was, like I said, it just added a whole different spin to it. And I like that. So, like that's what I liked about the Omen is I like the layeredness that you get into some movies. I guess it's the supernatural thrillers. We don't do a lot of those.
No, we don't.
I
No,
picked
this
these
was a good
flowers
one.
for you, Mommy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean,
Well,
just that
and now you know what a
knew.
bitch she was to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She knew how she knew, and she played her like the mother like a cheap violin.
She
You know,
did, button pusher.
The mom, Vera Farmiga.
Farmiga. Yeah.
She's really made her career in horror movies lately.
Yeah, she has.
Yeah.
All the Conjuring movies.
She was in the sequel to Vampires.
Oh, was she?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I didn't know
The
there
Bon
was a
Jovi
sequel
one?
to
John,
Vampire.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. Now you're right. Yes.
I gotta watch that again. I haven't.
I'm
I just
Vampire.
remember the
think
cover.
great.
The cover on the VHS tape from the Blockbuster video.
I think she's one of the prettiest actresses out there today.
Well,
so.
I remember the eyes that that's what I remember about her as a vampire was the eyes.
See, I really enjoyed the kitchen scene in the movie we just watched.
Well, tell us about that, Scott.
No.
That's a different file.
That'll be on Weird Realities after midnight.
After hours.
I watched that scene with my 20-year-old daughter. Didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah, it's always good when that happens in a show. Huh?
Yeah, a little
bam. Oh, don't look. Yeah. That's always.
Yeah, she tried to cover my eyes, but I.
Dad, I don't want to explain this to you.
I'll give this one a 4. I enjoyed it. It was a good flick.
I'm going to give this one a 4.5.
Yeah,
because I thought it was super tense, and that Isabel Furman, she just crushed that part. She just killed it. She was great.
Yeah, 4.5. Same reasons. It was great acting. It was very tense, and it hit you with a lot of not jump scares, but unexpected stuff that you really did. Like, ma'am, this isn't an orphanage. This is an insane asylum.
Yeah.
When she came out dressed up in the black dress and the heels, it was just sort of like a lot of WTF moments.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll do 4.25, and that's probably because I had seen it. It just didn't hit me as strongly the second time around. But I will say that I will watch it again if it's on and I'm in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's a good flick. Good pick, Rich.
Good pick.
Thanks. I liked it.
Good. Well, I guess I'll do mine. Mine is Children of the Corn from 1984, the original. And the storyline is a boy preacher named Isaac. I wrote notes. Goes to the small town of Gatlin, Nebraska, and gets all the kids in town to murder the adults. A young couple on a road trip, Linda Hamilton, pre-Terminator, right?
For those who don't know, Sarah Connor,
and Peter Horde.
Was that pre-Terminator?
It might have been after.
shortly after.
Shortly after,
Okay.
yeah.
Because wasn't Terminator like 82, 83,
Yeah,
was 84?
Yeah, shortly after. And 30-something's Peter Horde, and you never see that guy anymore.
He was a hardy boy.
Yeah, stop in Gatlin, Nebraska to report the murder of a young boy. They ran over this kid, but he had his throat slit, so they didn't kill him. And they're soon trapped in Gatlin by the evil kids and he who walks behind the rows. Murders, hijinks ensue. This is one of those. This movie's been, I don't know how many sequels have been made and prequels. There's even a Isaac Returns or something movie made.
I had no idea.
This is based on a Stephen King short story. If anyone doesn't know that, the Stephen King short story is far superior to this movie. This movie has some good elements to it. The creepy gas station guy played by R.G. Armstrong, who played in a lot of horror movies in the 70s, Race with the Devil, The Car, Hellhound. He was in Predator.
It was like the same character in all the movies, too.
Yes, same character. And he died in 2012, so he's around for a while. But his dog meets a tragic ending in this one, which I was surprised. But it's got a big creep factor in it. It's it's a 1984 movie, so it's made with that sensibility. It's not exciting today, But you'll see a lot of the tropes that they use in movies nowadays, especially since they made so many of these. I don't know how many there is and how many knockoffs there are. But the ending in the short story was really dark. And this one has a happy ending and a silly ending.
Yeah, kind of a dumb ending, really.
A dumb ending, yes. A dumb
Bad
ending.
special effects. Yeah.
Bad special effects when he who walks between the rows comes out. First, the cool thing was when he was coming through the dirt, you know?
Hi, Mark.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark.
Like, hey,
And
Mark.
I think they're right, Mark. So.
Yep. You know, like Trimmer. It's like a Trimmer's beast. You know, you see the dirt rolling and everything. I thought that was kind of cool. But then it turns into this Technicolor cloud of whatever.
Glowy crap.
Yeah, yeah. And so it wasn't very good. I remember seeing it at the movies and I liked it at that time. And I watched it the other day and it sucked. So
Exactly the same. I saw it at the movie theater when I was a kid. And I couldn't wait to see it. It was Stephen King. It was at the height of his, Stephen Kingness. And so I went with a bunch of friends and we sat there and we saw it and we all loved it. It was like, wow, we were raving about it. Then I watched it again, maybe 10 years later, just mid 90s. I was like, yeah, it's okay. It's great. And then I watched it 2 days ago. No, I watched it Monday. I was like, holy crap, that sucked. It didn't have a lot of redeeming qualities.
no, it didn't.
And why didn't the adults just stand up and punch the kids in the face?
Oh, well, they're poisoned. Remember, they
I
poisoned.
know they're getting poisoned and with the what do you call it, the slicer and stuff. I remember that.
Yeah.
But there were other adults. You
Yeah.
know? The blue man. So
It definitely, if you love the short story, this one just sucks.
there's 10 Children of the
Holy
Corn movies.
Ow.
Holy crap!
I thought
Well,
there was
but-
like 2.
Well,
Wow.
it did make money though. It was made on an $800,000 budget, and it made, I believe, $14 million. So back then,
Stephen King.
yeah,
Well,
Had his name
Malachi.
attached to it.
That's the scariest
Oh,
thing
yeah.
about the movie is Malachi.
Courtney Gaines.
he wants you, Malachi. I like that part. He wants you too. That guy was in Back to the Future, and he's been in stuff since, from
Yeah, but who did he
CSI
play
to
in Back
Bones.
to the Future? I couldn't figure that out.
He was one of the thugs in the
He
group.
will always,
Right, Tina.
hey, Tina.
We can
Hey,
start.
He
baby.
will always be Malachi
baby.
to me.
Yeah, he still acts. He's in all kinds of stuff. And the guy that played Isaac, the kid preacher, he played Cousin It in the Adams
Yeah, I
Family.
know.
Just
I
weird.
did not know that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And he's still
I
acts.
looked it up and it was like, I'm thinking, who was he? And I'm thinking of all the characters. And then when I looked it up, oh, he was Cousin It.
Yeah, this does not hold up. It just good idea, badly done. I do not recommend at all. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Scott.
I had never seen it. I never wanted to watch it. Those type of movies just bored me. I had to watch it, so I called it up. I loved the first 3/4 of it.
Right.
I thought the idea of this one psycho kid and his psycho follower bringing all of these other kids together, wiping out the adults and terrorizing every other adult who remained. Thought it was great. There's so many implications, and then at the end when Malachi turns at him and puts Isaac on the cross, I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. And then they went into those corny, cheap-ass 1980 special effects.
Oh, it's
and I'm
horrible.
like, well, what is this now? Is this supposedly 1980s disco demonic? Is he a spacer? After that, I don't even remember how the movie ends. All I know is Linda Hamilton and her boyfriend made it. So.
It is with them beating up the kids.
Yeah.
And taking the good kids with them, and then getting in the car, and then the girl tries to stab him with a
Thank you,
scissors,
Londa.
and she shuts the door on the girl and knocks her
Oh,
out.
I
And they-
know.
And they laugh.
Yeah.
We're gonna go. I mean,
Well,
it's
the whole
horrible.
thing, the whole movie's about the corruption of innocence. It really is.
Yes,
Yeah.
he
And
was.
it's
My innocence when I was watching
exactly.
it now.
And it's like it hurts my eyes.
Yeah.
I
Actually-
will say it was hard for me to suspend disbelief when the emergency room doctor hits the kid on the side of the road. Everything they did from then on, I was like, this is just they're the dumbest people alive.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, he wasn't that bright for an emergency room doctor. He was just.
They better not end up in my emergency room. I was like, you're a doctor? No. He didn't even try to do any type of life saving, anything.
He just rolled him over, saw the slit in his neck, is like, oh.
And then I had comic relief because y'all know I just have to find things funny. But so when they break into the house and there's a little girl in the room and it's like, they don't even like, oh, we're so sorry you broke into your house, little girl.
Yeah.
But she had the gift of sight.
Yes.
What the hell does that mean?
And that didn't make any.
No, it was dumb.
The
it had no bearing on the film.
It went nowhere. Nowhere at all.
Bad adults in the house, and now we're going with them.
And I remember liking this when I saw it back in the 80s.
Same.
And I was sober, so I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know. But I would give this one a 2.5 and recommend nobody to watch it.
I think you have to watch it if you're a Stephen King fan. And there's just little Easter eggs throughout it, like when they're riding in the car. What is it? Night Shift is on the dashboard.
Oh yeah.
And that was the short story was in Night Shift. So it's just little things like that. But I mean, it was nostalgic and it was fun to watch. And like I said, I will always remember Malachi.
It wasn't.
What?
It wasn't.
What was it?
It wasn't fun and nostalgic. I was bored crapless.
Oh, I kept thinking about Christy Alley saying that Parker gave her the big one all those years.
Oh no, that's not Parker Stevenson.
It's not?
No, that's Peter Horton. He was in 30-something.
The whole time I thought it was the Hardy Boy guy.
No.
Oh, well,
no.
No. Yeah, I give
Peter
it a
Horton.
1. I give it a 2.
Boy, you got a really biased voting system.
No, I'll give it a 2.
Alexander Skarsgård, and it would have got a 10.
Right? Now we know her range. Parker Stevenson, Alexander Skarsgård. What does everybody else think about this?
Scott, you first.
I give it a 2.5 because Malachi and Isaac rocked the movie. They were great. They were creepy. They're the only ones I was interested in. Linda Hamilton and her boyfriend, I could have cared less. I could not have cared less what happened to those two.
They had no chemistry, nothing. You didn't care about their character. They just
no.
I'm going to give it a 2. And while I think that Isaac was creepy, he wasn't scary. I thought Malachi was a little scary just because I didn't want to meet him if he had a big knife and he was near me. But he didn't really give me a creepy vibe, although he does now. If you look at him as an adult, that guy is friggin' creepy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sorry if you're out there, Mr. Gaines, but damn.
Don't ever run into him in a convention, Rich.
I know, right? I saw you. You reviewed my movie.
Yeah. You told me I was creepy. Well, I'm sorry, folks. Unleashing this one on you.
No, don't be. I mean, I never would have watched it. And like I said, I think it would have been a lot better if they had and I've never read the Stephen King short story, so I don't know what that's.
That's a great story.
I'll have to read that, but it was like, right up to that point where he went Technicolor, that was like after, I don't remember a thing about the movie after that.
Yeah, the special effects were just
horrible. This is one of the times when the special effects less was more.
Yeah, exactly. I thought the thing rolling through the dirt, I thought that was kind of cool.
That was an upside down wheelbarrow. Keep it simple, people. Keep it simple.
There you go.
So did you know that
Hadley was the first one to swear again tonight? So
this movie was originally published in Penthouse magazine.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, back in 1977. Yeah. Before
Like
we went into the night
reading it,
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So, Stephen King novel. Ooh.
But he did a lot of that. He published a lot of them in Playboy and Penthouse because they bought it. So,
Son, why are you reading that? Because Stephen King's got.
Because I love Stephen King.
Yeah.
See, it's
now we know the secret to his success.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Porn.
Softcore porn.
Publish it in jugs.
Was
You read the new Rich Restucci
it Larry
story, it's in
Flint?
jugs.
Yeah,
it
Jugs
was it Larry
magazine.
Flint who did Penthouse?
Yes, Larry Flint. No, wait, Larry Flint was Hustler, right?
He did Hustler.
Oh,
Yeah.
Penthouse was Guccione.
Yeah. Yep. Bob.
Guccio.
Yeah, right,
Me
Ash.
too, Ash. Why else would you look at it?
Well, he knew about the Stephen King story. See,
Yeah.
there you go. He's a better short story writer, anyway. I think than he is a novelist.
That's why y'all tune in, Mona. We know.
Oh, bunch of bitching machines. Who isn't?
I liked early Stephen King. I loved Salem's Lot. I loved a couple of his short
Such a
stories.
great
I
movie.
loved it, even though it took me forever to get through. But I made the mistake of starting to read the later Stephen King ones as they came out, and I think I've read 2 or 3 Stephen King, and that's about all. I'm sure Christine is great. I'm sure Cujo, Pet
That's all right.
Cemetery. You know, they may be great. And Stephen King likes killing off animals.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
does.
Cujo, the cat in Pet Cemetery, the dog in this movie.
Church. Did you read The Green Mile?
Sorry?
Did you read The Green Mile?
No.
Fantastic story. He sent that out when he originally did it. Each story it's like 40 or 50 pages long. It's these tiny little skinny books, maybe 60 pages each time. Less. 20, 30 pages. Yeah. And they came out like once a week or once every 2 weeks for like 6 months. It was really great the way he did it. And I could not wait each time for them to come out because that was a great story.
Now, was that in Penthouse?
No, it was little tiny skinny books that I got at the Hanover Mall, this little bookstore that's, you don't find bookstores anymore. So
now, Audrey, I want to read The Stand, but that's like 1,000 pages.
We'll get the abridged version.
Oh my God, The Stand is worth the read.
But it would take me, no offense, Rich, I love your story, but it's taken me a month to get through run 2 because it's like I read a couple of chapters and then I can't read again for another week.
I know. I'm doing the same thing with Johansson right now. I do that, and I can't get to it for like 3 or 4.
Yeah, if I read The Stand, I'd be reading it. If I started today, I'd finish it in 2024.
So honestly, one of the best Stephen King stories is The Running Man.
Yeah, The Running Man's good.
The movie is just stupid. It doesn't do justice to the story at all. Yeah. But the story is fantastic, and it's a short story. It's maybe 120, 130 pages long.
Yeah, The Stand. I haven't read The Stand in probably 20 years, but I read it like 6-7 times over my lifetime.
Yeah, me too.
And it's my favorite King book. I'm afraid to go read it again, though. I'm just afraid.
You won't like it as much, right?
Yeah, I'm just afraid. But Scott, it's a great book, especially for apocalyptic stuff.
Everybody has said it's a great book, but I just, if they put me in prison, then I might read the book because I have plenty of time. But
and that's why you get the Audible version when you're going on a trip.
See, I can't do that because when I travel, I turn the radio on and I plot the next 3 or 4 chapters of the book I'm writing.
There you go. Well, any of you guys read Swan Song by Kamen? Yes. So it's the same story. It's The Stand, but it's a nuclear war. They have the same evil guy. It's a great book. I love it. It's one of my favorite books.
It's long though.
Definitely, it is. Same thing as The Stand. It's a super thick book. Absolutely worth the read if you haven't read it.
McCann's got some good books.
Yeah, he does.
The Night Boat.
That was good. Yeah.
Stinger.
Yeah, Stinger's a great story. Yes.
Stinger.
Yeah,
love Stinger.
I can't believe some of his movies didn't get. Some of his books didn't get made into movies.
I know.
He's a great writer.
It's Allen who you know.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, so what was the favorite movie for the week? Orphan.
The Orphan.
Yeah.
Orphan,
of these 4, Orphan was the best one.
Now I watched a movie the other night on Netflix. It's a zombie movie called The Valley of Death.
The Spanish Civil War.
Yes. Has anyone seen that?
No. I just on your recommendation, I'm going to watch it this week.
That's my weekend watch. When we're done here, I'm going to start the Netflix Resident Evil series.
Now, next week, what's our theme?
Next week is beach horror, right? Beach horror, water horror.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't remember. I know my movie's Blood Beach.
Mine was like Mary.
Mary?
I gotta write these down.
I think I've got it. We have it written down somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, we have it.
I didn't get.
I haven't seen it yet, so.
It's a Gary Oldman, right? Gary Oldman
it had Gary Oldman in it. It's the whole reason I picked it.
Yeah.
Mary?
Yeah, hold on. Let me make sure I've got the name right.
I've got Lake Placid.
Lake Placid.
It's a classic.
I mean, I gotta pick Jaws. Are we doing shark movies later on?
Yeah, we're doing shark movies
next week. The week after that.
Yes, it's called Mary. And it came out in 2019.
Mary.
And it's on Hulu.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Well, I'm not going to see it.
It was a fun movie.
Well, I'll see what else is on. Let's see.
No, we can do it.
It's on Plex. It's on Plex.
No, I'm not getting Plex either. I'm supposed
Scott, what I did, I downloaded Plex on my phone, and it's free, and I can stream it to my TV.
Oh, Humanoids of the Deep.
That's a good one. I do like
that one. The old one.
Yeah. Well, mine's in 84.
Which one did you pick?
Blood Beach. I believe it's on Tubi. It's on one of those. It's on a free one.
I love Tubi.
Yeah. Because that's why I grabbed it. But I've always wanted to see that one
if
again.
it's on Tubi or not Tubi.
I will say that I have noticed that like some of our faithful followers will actually watch along with us if we tell them ahead of time. So
my movie is Uninhabited.
Uninhabited. I'm scared now. That just scares me, that title. Yeah.
Well, y'all know I'm truly afraid of dark water. Dark, deep water.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen Underwater? With
Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart.
Oh.
Yes, I have.
That's not a bad flick. I liked it. That wasn't bad. I'm not a fan of hers. But...
Me neither, but I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, see, okay, Landon. Yeah, that's the one where the things in the sand. Yep.
Oh, I think I saw that years ago, but don't remember it.
Yeah.
Calm down, Allen.
Hey, now that's nostalgia. You didn't like Underwater? I liked it. I liked the special effects and everything.
Well, I cheated and I went ahead and over the weekend I watched my shark movie. Because I hadn't seen it.
Which one was yours?
Uncaged. Oh, no, 47 meters
47
down,
meters.
Uncaged.
Okay.
Uncaged.
It's part 2, and it was pretty good. Yeah. I wanted to do something that had really good effects, so that's part of the joy of watching the big shark stuff. So.
Did you guys see that video? Talking about sharks, this guy, a fisherman, had caught a baby white shark in a net, and he released it. And every time he comes back to the area, that white shark comes up to the boat and like sits by the boat, and he rubs its belly.
Scott Baker, I love you so hard right now because I thought that was real too.
Oh,
it wasn't real?
No, I was sadly found out that was not true, and you can go on Snoops and find out. But I love you because you thought it was.
Oh,
that would have been cool though.
It would have been cool. I was like, oh, see, I'm right there with.
Except I wouldn't have pet a goddamn white shark's belly. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I see like
like a puppy.
Scott, how many horror movies have you seen? And you're gonna pet a white shark's belly?
Why not? What about like Placid? If you're nice to it, if you're nice.
Hi, my name's Scott Baker.
If you're nice to something when it's small, it'll like you when it grows up.
Yeah, because you.
That's why, like, if I find a baby Bigfoot, I'm gonna raise him.
There's one in the corner right down here.
We were in the pool. We were in the pool the other day, and my grandson, he'd never seen Jaws or anything, but we're playing. He's got this little shark about this big, and he's like, Donna starts doing the Jaws thing. I'm like, how's he know that?
Right.
From the womb.
There was one of the conventions I was at, the kid that played the boy that was eaten by the shark in Jaws.
Alex Kidd.
He was there.
What's misted by dolphins? Can someone tell me what that is?
What is? How many people get misted by? I think that's when they like spit on you with the spray. But the kid was there, and he was making a fortune selling photographs of him. He brought a yellow water float with him.
Wow.
And people would like lay there beside him, and they'd take their selfies.
Well, the kids that had the fake shark in Jaws that scared everybody.
Yeah.
One of those kids, the one that told on the other kid, he made me do it. He became the police chief.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Over
David
there.
Moog is there.
Isn't that funny?
That is funny. Full circle, people. Full circle.
Yep, full circle.
David, you talk about that. There was a video I saw. This guy had been filming Nate. He was out there taking photographs of nature, and he'd set up a video camera on himself. And while he was sitting there, 3 baby cubs came up and started playing with him.
No. You run away. Go away. Well, Scott's frozen, so let's talk about him.
And the mother bear's leading up. And I'm thinking to myself, this poor guy's thinking, oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, the mother's sitting there like, yeah, play with him. Just don't bother me.
Yeah.
You hear about those people taking selfies with buffalo in Yellowstone?
Yeah. Don't pet the fuzzy cows.
Yeah, then they get have you seen the video? It'll show them like flying in the air because the buffalo has hooked them. Buffalo are not friendly.
No.
Well, elk. Where I used to live up in Crescent City, there was we'd get these herds of elk, and people would pull over on the side of the road between Eureka and Crescent City, and they'd pull over and they'd get right up to them, and these things are bigger than your SUV. They get right up to them, take pictures like, you idiot. It's going to trample you.
When I was in Salt Lake City, I went to Antelope Island, which I don't know why they call it Antelope Island, because it's got nothing but buffalo. And one of the big Mormon leaders was afraid they were all going to get wiped out. He brought them there, and you're driving through, and like we're slowly driving through. We heard some of them came up to the car and like started sticking their nose in, and they seemed friendly. Didn't get out of the car though.
If they wanted to not be friendly, you would have been knocked all over the place.
Oh yeah. The most deadly animal in North America is the moose, David Luger. Yes, you're right, sir. You are correct, sir.
I thought cows killed more people
read that
than anything else in America.
Actually, I believe it's honeybees.
No, really?
Yeah.
Really?
But the moose is the mammal.
How about bad movies?
Yeah. Oh, that's right up there.
Right up there.
That's right up there.
Well, check out that Valley of let me know, Valley of Death. What you think of it?
Yeah, I gotta write it down.
It's the premise is kind of cool. Spanish Civil War. You got Germans. You got communist, fascist. I mean, it's just great.
Okay,
it's fun. It's nothing serious, and it's not like it's like a movie they made 10 years ago. In its sensibility.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing like new.
It's foreign made, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Spanish.
You've heard? Have y'all heard about that wasting disease that white-tailed deer are getting now?
Yes.
That's really
nasty.
bad. It's come into Mississippi, so like hunters and all, they have to be real careful about the deer that they kill.
Yeah,
so between that, the new COVID strain, and monkeypox, I guess I know where we'll be in 6 months.
Oh, they're lining up for.
Oh well, the deer stuff's been going on a while, but it's
Oh.
really bad. I mean, it's for people who eat it, the meat. There's bad stuff. Not one who eats that, so.
That's a brain disease.
Yeah, but
Chronic
I feel
wasting
for the
disease.
animals.
Yeah.
And they're lining up for monkeypox shots in San Francisco.
Yeah.
What's going on with the monkeypox?
I haven't really heard that much about it.
I heard that it's beginning to travel more, not like COVID, but that it's.
It's got a 3 or 5% mortality rate, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's a low mortality rate. It's more like a sexually transmitted disease, though. I think if you touch an open monkeypox, I think that's one of the reasons why it traveled so much, is that it was originally sexually transmitted.
So sex with monkeys? Is that?
Yeah.
I'm fine.
No banging monkeys.
Not a monkey in my house.
Yeah, it's not you, it's your partner, man. You got to worry about the partners.
A 5% mortality rate is like would shut the world down. It can't be that high.
I thought I heard it.
I gotta look that up because a 5% mortality rate, that's like Ebola. It's bad.
Well, you know, it's a monkey disease.
Yeah, right. Don't mess with the monkeys.
No, see, I'm not worried about the monkey pox because that's physical contact. You have to actually touch it. I'm more worried about this new variant of Omicron that apparently is more deadly than Omicron.
The one that's not resistant to the vaccine.
I think so. Yeah. And it's I think it's in either New York or California, and apparently it's spreading rapidly in China. Gee.
Yeah.
It's a pox variation. David Muga says it's a pox variation, and if you had the smallpox vaccine, you're likely good.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm fine.
Yeah. That banana flavored condoms being idea. There we go.
Yes, I'm going to leave that one alone.
They're your relatives, man.
I don't know if they're like more embarrassed of me or I'm more embarrassed of them. So
we're glad you bring them along.
Yeah,
they're fun.
Y'all have some awesome friends that turn up. It's awesome.
Yeah.
David is a class act. If you guys have not read David Muga's Radius series, you're missing out.
I'm on the third one.
Yeah, I haven't started yet. I got to do Hadley's 2 books, and then he's next.
David's book is my bathroom book. It's my new bathroom book.
Thanks for sharing that.
I've been there. I've actually been there, David. So that's a compliment.
That is a compliment. You know, Rich.
All right, y'all. Send me the information for David's book, and I'll put a note when I upload this to Anchor.
I'm looking at David's book now. I'll take a look at him, David.
They're outstanding.
His bathroom book. Okay.
David's a real sharp guy, and
look at that smile. Look at him right there.
Yeah, look at that.
He looks like Cecil Fletcher with that mustache. Cecil has shaved his beard, guys. And now got the really nice mustache. Baby face. Wouldn't get in a van with him, but looking good.
I've got a good bathroom book collection.
So tomorrow night, if Morgana is still here, they're doing their Weird Awakenings at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if anybody's around, y'all might want to check them out. They're going to be tackling ancient civilizations of Lemuria and Mu. So that should be pretty interesting. I actually did some research because I was going to hop on with them, and I found out some really interesting things. So
that's a good show.
Maybe I'll show up and drop that on y'all. But
now I'm trying to remember. I read about Lemuria years as a kid. My aunt had all these books, Chariots of the Gods, Eric von Däniken, all that stuff, and books on Lemuria. So, is that associated with Atlantis?
Around the same time, but a different culture. Lemuria, actually, they think that it might be like Mount Shasta, like that they moved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's tied up to the whole Mount Shasta thing, and there's like some people found some stuff there and some caverns and.
Right. Mount Shasta is beautiful. It's actually just a couple hours away from our house.
Really? So if I ever go to it?
Yeah.
Go get this book and read this book. This is a fantastic book. And
so are you going to hop on with us tomorrow?
If I can. Fridays are tough for me, but Tully and Cecil turned me on, and Morgana turned me on to this book. And it's about it's a show that they did in the past. I don't want to dwell on it too much, but it was about the World's Fairs that have occurred, throughout the country or throughout time in this country, and how it's just utterly impossible for the construction that happened to actually happen. And it's a really good book. Wow. And I highly recommend it. It's called.
You mean like the UFOs at the New York World Fair being a real UFO? Men in Black?
I saw the documentary on that.
See, I'm not the only weird one here.
Oh God, no! You're probably the least weird.
Hey, Hadley, David Muga was asking what group the show's going to be. Can you give them info on what show tomorrow night?
Oh, it's Weird Awakenings. It's just another segment of our Weird Reality stuff. It is headed by the wonderful Morgana Calder and our friends from We're in the Folk, and that's Tully and Cecil. For those who don't know, they have their own We're in the Folk podcast, which is a lot of conspiracies, a lot of folklore. I mean, they deep dive into some really weird stuff, paranormal stuff. Lots of fun there. And our friend Mr. Stephen Hill. Stephen is a cryptid researcher out of Arkansas, and he is friends with our friend Logan Kraft, who does our audio producing. And it's a lot of fun. But they're on Friday nights pretty regular. They've been on a little hiatus, but they will be back on tomorrow night starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. And again, tomorrow night's their topic that they're going to be discussing is going to be Lemuria and Mu. So
it's a fun show, a lot of laughs. It's great.
Yeah, and keep in mind, anything that comes out of Weird Realities was with the expectation we're going to laugh. And no one's an expert. We are really just a bunch of nerds who like to get together and kind of cross-reference what we've come across and study different topics.
Well, we're expert nerds.
Yeah, we are experts at being nerds, that's for sure. But David, definitely, and if you give us a shout out sometime, we have a topic that you're interested in, we would love to have you come on.
Ooh. And let me just say, anybody who was in earlier this week, I posted on the Weird Realities homepage a tour I took several years ago to Roswell. I went and visited all the sites located with the Roswell incident. Go check that out. And this weekend, I'm going to be posting, since it's also July 15th is the anniversary of the detonation of the atomic bomb. I went to Trinity site where they exploded it. So I'll be posting photographs from my trip there.
Awesome.
So it's historical. You'll learn something.
That's right. We like weird history.
Yeah.
Someplace.
I don't know if y'all know this, but both Scott and I have our degrees in history.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very nice.
Yep, I got a master's degree in Soviet history. I joined the government. The Soviet Union fell, so there was no need for Soviet majors. So somebody in the federal government thought, "Oh, Russia, big communist country. Oh, China, big communist country." So I became a China expert. Don't know a damn thing about China, but I became a China expert for 3 years. So.
Well, that's the government for you.
Definitely. And be sure and check out our Weird Realities website. We've done lots of updates. I need to get some interviews with Mr. Scott Baker and Mr. Rich Restucci on there.
We will nail that down.
Yes, we do need to. But if you let me know when you're available, I know, Scott, I don't know if you still want to do it late tonight, but we'll go live with it if you want to. But we can do it another time during the day if you want to, if you think we'll get
No, if you want to go live, we can go live now.
All right.
Yeah.
Remember, keep your shirt on. You too, Rich.
Yep. No, I can't do it now. I got to fly, but I need to take my shirt off. I was thinking about doing that right now. It is what it is.
Yeah, get your kids t-shirt size and send it to me.
Will do.
So
check out my webpage, Ash, because I actually I did a Weird Realities news show on Betty and Bonnie Hill. Yeah. So go check that out on our webpage.
We need to do more weird news stories because those are fun.
I'm going to be doing one coming up in a couple of months. I want to try. I have no time to get out of the house. I want to go to Boston, where the first UFO sighting in America took place. And in a month or so, I'm going to be going to Exeter, New Hampshire, where they're having a huge convention for the Exeter, New Hampshire UFO sighting.
Nice.
Well, did I get with you that we found a paranormal researcher in New Hampshire for you?
Yes. Holly and I have been working. I just got in touch with the guy tonight.
Awesome.
And we've also got Tully's ready. We've got the videotape I took of the grave of Claude Rains.
Oh wow. Nice.
Oh, nice.
When you come down to Boston, let me know you're coming and I will join you.
All right. Sounds good. Maybe we can be abducted together.
And y'all need to let me know if y'all ever want to be introduced to the guy that does all the research in the, I guess, like the stone cairn sites He's based out of Boston, but it's all up and down New England that he has sites.
Yes, I know who
I'm
you're
on his
talking
Facebook
about.
group, actually.
He's a super. Oh, did I introduce you to him, Rich? Because I would love to. He was really nice.
I haven't met the man, but he
Pro
introduced
buddies.
somebody.
That sounds so.
Two
that
guys,
sounds
one
like a
pro.
really bad Facebook
I
group.
joined his Facebook group.
Hey, DA.
Hey, DA.
Hey.
You just in time for 2 men, 1 pro.
Dude, you didn't go there. Oh, and on that note, I gotta go. Oh,
Yeah, let's take a brief break, Scott. I'll get you set up, and we will start a live stream. You want to start it at 10:30? Excuse me, 11:30 your time.
Sure, no problem. Give me a chance to go upstairs and get something to drink.
Okay, and that'll give me time to get it set up. So,
all right. Thanks, Ash.
Chloe's still here. Outstanding. Good job, kid.
She's embarrassed that it's her father, but she's still here.
Well, thanks for showing up, guys. We always appreciate you being here, and you can count on us to be here same time next week.
Thank you, Londa.
Yes,
thanks, everybody.
Have a good night.
All right, take it easy.